Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm only a minute late. Oh my god, I am so. Welcome back to another Solitary Sunday here at Get Gaming. I'm Andy. I gotta remember to start these live streams properly, but if you're here, you know. I still have to post the link in the Discord. As you can see, I haven't even set the game up yet. So we're going to go on a journey today, and we're going to have a chill, solitary Sunday. I have my chamomile lavender tea to help calm my hungover nerves. My God, I didn't even know if I was going to get up. If you hear white noise in the background, it's raining right now, which, as we've established, is a miraculous event in California these days. So, from the kids bouncing their basketballs. But still, I'm going to keep it open for the rain, and also because we always get really hot under these lights and really sweaty, and I just woke up like an hour ago. So I'm still becoming a live person on the live. So, it's all good in the hood, boo. Right? All good in the hood. So, I need to go to... Somebody needs to go and, I need to go and share this link a little bit. I'm just pop out that dashboard real quick. So this is Leaf. This is the new game by Weird City Games. Tim Eisner, who did Wonderland's War, which was all the hotness about a year ago. I think it's still hot for some people. This is a lighter game. Plays 1 to 4. The solo mode does involve managing an AI. The solo mode does involve managing an AI, which y'all know I'm not the hugest fan of, but this one it's okay. It's not well, you'll see. So, I probably will be consulting the rulebook still a bit. So, if you go to the back of this rulebook for the solo rules, there's about 2.5-ish pages for how to do it. Manage the, it's called the North Wind. And there is a separate AI deck you'll be doing. So, it's not the worst that I've done, but you do have to do quite a bit of making choices. For the Rich says, "Hi Andy, you are my candy." This is true. I'm sweet, but also salty and occasionally sour. I think I was posting on Twitter because I was doing some editing the other day, and I was like, damn, I need to stop being such a raging bitch to that boy all the time. Poor creature. He suffers so. So, here's a tray. To start, I still have to set this up. So, for setting up for the AI, it says you choose a player color to be the North Wind, whatever. So, it's kind of like playing double-handed in the solo mode, which, again, as we've established, is not my favorite thing in the world, but I do like being able to play this game solo, so I'm going to show you how that all works today. Now, one of the things about this game, if you've never played it or you've never heard of it, it has these leaf tiles that you're going to be placing out, and it takes up quite a bit of space. So I just want to make sure that everything is copacetic here first, which takes a little bit of Tetrising. Okay, so we're going to have our token trays are going to be over there. And also, I have to make sure that the important things are in the frame as well. So, that's going to be also a little bit of a challenge. I think these will go good up here. I'll put the leaves over here so you can see the animal art a little bit better. Because it's very lovely art on those animal cards. that out a little bit. Then we can do that a little bit. I sincerely hope, that you'll be able to see all the things, and then I'll have enough room for these leaves. It might be a little bit of a challenge. Actually, we're going to put this guy over here, I think, so that I have a little bit more room there. So we'll probably build out our leaves here. Will probably make the most sense, and I'll just adjust as I need to. One of the things I really like about this box is these little tuck boxes. I love a publisher that actually thinks about storage solutions like this. Now, if you don't like working with these tuck boxes, you can obviously always empty it out and figure out your own storage solution, but it's pretty organized. Like, I can't imagine many people having a lot of issues with this insert because it is very logical. So we have our leaves, and there are 6 different types. I think this is silver maple. I think this is sweet gum. And so for a starter game, you'll see on the backs of these, there'll be like a little swirly gig. So that's going to be your starter leaf you need to place out. And there's also one that has a little leaf symbol on it. You're supposed to put that on top when you're doing a starter game, but I've already played this a couple times, so we're just gonna have that kind of shuffled in, you know. And so you'll notice there are different colors in the game. They correspond to the different actions, which we'll go over as we play probably. But there's, is it 5 or 6? I think it's just 5 different actions. But there's also icons here, so it is colorblind friendly for the different corresponding actions on the tiles. So yeah, we're going to be touching these leaf tips together, and it's going to become quite a, as here in Sacramento has a lot of trees, so when we're having like a real fall, which this fall seems like it's going to be a mostly real fall. There's still been some hot days, but we get a lot of piles of leaves. Like, the city will come by and do like leaf removal. There's a ton of leaves. So it's dissimilar to many other places in California because we have such a high concentration of trees in Sacramento. Like, it's the highest of, I think, almost any metropolitan area in the world outside of, I think the only other competitors are Poway and Atlanta, which also has like that huge forest in the middle of the city where they're trying to build that Cop City or whatever. Which is why people are pissed off about it. Yeah, there's like some ordinance about there needs to be at least a certain number of trees per city block. When you're zoning things, you have to plant trees. Mostly because this area is very prone to flooding. So back in the mid-1800s, when it was still a boom town, the city literally got washed away several times. Like, there were a bunch of really huge floods. So they did quite a few things. Like, downtown is entirely, like, they built up because it's at sea level, and there's places in Sac that are slightly above. Where I am, it's slightly above because it's more prairie, but I'm about 15 minutes out from central Sacramento, which is very low elevation. It's very flat. It's on a alluvial plain. So basically they planted trees to like try to, keep things from getting washed away, So, and I need my other starter one. Is it one of these? It is indeed. So these are your starter leaves, and you kind of place them like so, tip to tip, like this, 2 tips. And this will be your start. So this is going to need to grow quite a bit. So we might even end up sliding this over to start, because I had an issue last time I played this solo. I like my leaves started covering over the solo AI's like board. It's like once it's kind of locked into a position, it's really hard to shift the whole thing over. So you really need to make sure you think ahead about the amount of table space you have, or you know, those leaves will spread like a disease. Rich asks, know what else is prone to flooding? What, baby? Because I gotta... Oh, here's some tokens. Okay. So these negative tokens are for when, if your hand of cards is ever empty, you have to take negatives. So you want to avoid that when at all possible. I actually like how I'm just trying to explain the rules while I'm setting the game up. It's maybe not the most efficient way to do it, but we're doing it here. Differently different. Oh, also there's an expansion in here that I haven't even played with any of this stuff yet. I probably want today, but yeah, Season of the Bear. I think it just adds, it adds a bunch of different stuff. Like there's more animal cards, like these great animals, which give you special one-off abilities. Aw, Rich says, my love for you. That's what's flooding over. It's true. Yeah, so this expansion just adds like little mini modules to give you like different scoring criteria. It doesn't really like, I don't know how much it would significantly change the game. Most of it doesn't seem like super rule breaky stuff. Just kind of gives you a little bit more variability, I think. Because it's a fairly light game. It's supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes. We have played this at 3 and at 2, and this will be my second time playing it solo, so hopefully I'll be able to not take too long, you know, figuring rules and things out. Oh, what's nice about this expansion being this little box like this, it fits, as you can see, right in there. So that's that. They put the single acorns. These are the point tokens, by the way. These acorns. And they put the single ones in a little envelope, I guess to be fancy or something. I'm not sure. I wish I could fit all the acorn tokens in there, but you can't really do that. It gets too, you can't really close it, and worried about ripping that thing. It's a nice thought. It's a nice little touch. But, you know, it does kind of help keep the single acorn separate from the 5 and 20 point acorns, though. So there's that. Then we have some decks. Ah, yes. So these are the leaf cards. And here are my solo AI cards. So I'm going to put the solo deck there. And the leaf deck is going to go here for now. I should shuffle it a little bit. Where's Tim? Tim just commented on a video. Hannah too. Maybe because I didn't post about. Well, I think they get the notifications. So you know, this time I think will work better for everyone in general, though, because our most of our loyal fans are on the East Coast and European time, anyway. So that's the thing. Place the leaves, Rich says. I'm getting to it, okay? I'm just like, I was literally just on the phone with Rich like 30 minutes ago, and he was like, are you going to be, you know you have a stream to do in like 30 minutes. Are you going to actually get up out of bed? And I was like, maybe. Here's a sun token. We have to place that here for the solo mode. You start at the second space, so that just kind of speeds things up. Now, this is a very cute, the porcupine for the first player token, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be going first in the solo game, and then the AI. You resolve the AI stuff second, which sounds like that would give you a bunch of an advantage, but you will see what is going to happen with this AI. And then I think we're almost ready to go. There's some point tokens. Then I have to shuffle these animal cards. And then I'm going to be green. And the AI is going to be... Maybe I should have the AI be one of the morels or the chanterelle. What do you think, baby? Should it be orange or yellow instead of red? I'll wait for him to answer. In the meantime, I'm going to dump out these sun tokens. Those are very important in the game. That's how I'll be able to bump up this track up here, the clock of the game, which also gives you points and allows you to put some animals into your winter den, which is a very thematic way of saying locking in your set collection points in this game. And there will be some area majority with these mushrooms. It's not really area majority or area control. You're not like blocking people or scoring for having the most of anything. But this AI, the big thing that's very OP in its scoring has to do with the mushrooms. So that will become a very strategic thing, which I will explain when we get there. So I have to do some shuffling. I think I am going to switch out this AI color, though. But the question is, should this AI be chanterelles or morels? Or do I want to be a chanterelle or a morel? What feels more autumn colors? Orange and yellow, orange and red, or yellow and red? Yeah, I think I'm not going to be green. I've decided that. So let me get out those player aids. Let's keep this rule book handy. I'm probably still going to need to refer to it for resolving the AI's things. It's the only annoying thing. Rich was asking his crystal ball, and he said, the picture is cloudy. Ask again later. At first glance, I thought you were saying, oh, the image of the video is cloudy. I'm like, wait, oh, no, do I need to wipe off this lens or something? I guess not. So that's fine. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, I'm still setting the game up. That's what's happening. I feel like, where are my squirrel tokens here, at any rate? The little squirrels, oh, they're in the boxes, right? Because we put them in the boxes last time? Yeah. So, your little squirrel tokens. What is this green stuff on my hand? Is there something green on my face? I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, they're super cute. So let me see. What looks better? Red and orange. Maybe? Is that feeling more fall? Or maybe the yellow. These are aesthetic decisions, but this is a very aesthetic game. A big part of what makes this game so good is the aesthetics. I think we definitely need orange in there. Orange and yellow, is that fall enough? No, I think the red. I think orange and red feels the most fall to me. Wouldn't you agree? No chanterelles, though. No. Oh, but that feels more fall. I kind of want to just be looking, because I'm going to be putting these tokens out, and I want to look at chanterelles and morels. Is kind of what I'm trying to debate here. These are the kinds of things when you're a solo gamer, you can take as much time as you want, being like, which colors do I want to vibe with today, you know? Yellow and orange is still good. That's still pretty fall, right? And yellow probably will stand out more against some of these leaves. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that idea. Also, the red looks orange, but this looks orange, this box, but it's really... I mean, it's orange, but it's really the red. Because this is the orange, is the morels. Yeah, we're going to do morels and chanterelles. That's what we're going to do. So can I finally put this box away? Then get started, you ask? Yes. I/we may be able to do such a thing. Okay, so we have our little tuck boxes. So which color do I want to be? Do I want to be morels or chanterelles? That's the question. That's the question. I think I want to be... I'm feeling very morel, so I'll be orange, and then the AI will be yellow. And that's where that's going to go. So now here's the little AI deck. Put you over there. Put that there. And then, as I recall, you still deal yourself 3 cards. I'm pretty sure you do. With the setup, it talks about how to set up for the Northwind, but I think you're just supposed to set up for yourself normally. So I just want to shuffle this a little bit better. The luck of the draw I found is not super huge in this game because there's only 6 different types of cards. And you start with 3, and generally when you're gathering stuff along, you'll see that it's really not a crazy number of rounds. But you have a little bit of agency to control this because when you want to move this along, or when the AI automatically moves it along, you need 3 of these sun tokens here. So you discard 3 of the sun tokens to move this. And then once it crosses this line with the frost, you'll be collecting some of these animal cards along the way. So let's just fill that up while we're here. I see squirrels. I see porcupines. That's a pretty good start. And a little raven. And so any animal cards when you collect them, and that will be the orange action, I believe. Yes. And I'll get into how you trigger the actions. But yeah, you're trying to collect sets of 3 or more for the animals. And it'll be the same thing when we place out mushrooms. So once you cross the frost, though, you'll keep, when you first get the cards, they go above here into your forest. And once a frost happens, you can pick all of one animal type and move them down below into your winter den. So anything that's in your forest doesn't score at the end of the game, only things that you've managed to move into your winter den. And you'll notice there's only 3 lines on that score, so you'll only be able to score 3 sets of animals throughout the game. So collecting a whole variety of animals isn't going to do anything for you. You really need those 3. And it's sort of exponential scoring. So I believe like 1 animal is 1, and yeah, 2 animals is 2, 3 animals is 6, and then you just get +1 for anything beyond that. So, you know, getting 4 or 5 only gets you 1 or 2 more points. So, you know, it's really, once you have the 3, maybe 4, you're good to go with those. And I'll explain the mushroom scoring as we go along because there's quite a bit of managing and strategy with that I will go over. So I'm dealing myself 3 cards. And I'll need to keep this because it actually does a pretty good job of explaining how to manage the AI. And I am, you know, just going to move these over a bit because I think we're going to need to move them over a bit. You will see how quickly it kind of builds out. Okay, I'm sipping my tea. Okay, it's almost the 30-minute mark, so I think we should definitely just get into it. So, your turn is pretty simple. You're going to play a leaf card from your hand. And if you have 2, you'll be able to get an extra bonus of placing an extra mushroom if you're doing the brown one, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But basically, you play a card, like let's say I played this, probably the silver maples, good to start with. I will then select the corresponding leaf tile, and I will be attempting to place it in such a way that these tips will line up. So if you're ever in doubt on whether a placement is quote unquote legal, or how many of a certain action you're going to get, you'll see these little highlights in the corners, and there's a tiny little highlight on the stems too, so those also count as a connection point. So in this case, and you're only going to trigger the actions on the leaves you connected to, not the actions on the leaf you just placed. Very important. So in this case, I've connected to a green stem, a green tip, and 2 orange tips. So I would get to take the green action twice and the orange action twice. So the green action is just drawing more leaf cards. So I get to draw 2 leaf cards. Always good to have cards so you don't get caught with, your leaf pants down, like you're a denizen of the forest wearing, your leaf costume. You're like a little elf in the woods. So I got my 2 cards. Then the orange action is gaining animal cards. So, up here, what choices are good? So generally speaking, you want to get sets of the same animal, right? So I see 2 squirrels and 2 possums. Also, when you collect an animal card that has this little acorn icon on it, you get acorn token automatically. And those are points. Acorns are points, so you want acorns. Did you know that the area of Sacramento is very famous for its acorns? Because the indigenous people actually did some light agriculture with the black oaks in the area, and subsisted on a lot of acorns. There's still, if you go to places up in Auburn, up the American River, there's like these huge rocks that have these huge mortars that they would use to grind the acorns with. Mostly the Nishinan tribe, I believe, was doing a lot of acorn production. But there were a couple of other related Maidu tribes that were doing it as well. And they would burn certain parts of the oak forest to sort of do kind of a crop renewal, crop rotation kind of thing. And then there's also ancient glyphs on a lot of those rocks. So they think might have been a sort of proto-form of writing, though I think it's more kind of like pictographs, mostly. Okay, so that was my turn. So those are my actions. Oh, wait, I didn't take the animal cards. Well, I think I don't like squirrels, so I'm going to go with the porcupines. And they'll go up here in my area. You'll also see I don't have enough room already here. These guys are going to have to go over here. I hope I don't have to move it too much. We're going to kind of try to spread out this way. That's what's going to happen. And I hope that's okay. So then putting them above my play area, this is my forest area. So I have 2 porcupines there. One of them had an acorn on it. So I get a token, the point token. Always helpful. These play areas are really good for getting you into the game, for sure, and kind of guiding you like, wait, which color is which action again? So good job to Weird City Games and Tim Eisner for thinking about such things. And then you don't refill until the end of your turn, but it is the end of my turn. So there goes that. So now comes the complicated part. Actually, it's not too bad. Let's kind of go through this. So for the Northwind, the AI, you have this lovely little deck here. And we're just going to be flipping that bitch and seeing what we get. Okay. So it'll show you a leaf, and then it'll usually have an arrow towards a color. So what you need to do, because obviously the AI is not taking any of those green leaf cards, you want to take whatever the top leaf is from that pile. So in this case, the silver maple, and you're going to try to place it next to red. Now there's no red here currently. So they have kind of a list of hierarchies of choices you have to make. So you want to, in order, these are like the order of priorities for making this decision for the AI. So you want to place the leaf. So the most important priority is connecting to as many leaf tips that match the leaf color / action shown on the card as possible. Well, we can't place next to this color because it's not there. So I think we're just going to try to make as many leaf connections as possible. So like here, I would make 4. That would be 4. That would also be 4. I think anywhere I place it, it will be 4. So we're just going to place it over here. Because whatever. Oh, actually it says you prioritize connecting to leaves in this order: red, orange, brown, yellow, green. Well, that connected to orange. Maybe orange and brown is, they're saying, is the priority order. Whatever. If the north wind's leaf connects to 3 or fewer leaf tips, then you place a baby mushroom on the placed leaf automatically. That was not the case, so we're not going to get into how mushrooms work quite yet, but I'm probably about to do it on my turn. And then you have to take actions for the north wind, and this is where things get a little complicated. But basically, it's triggered 2 orange actions and 2 brown actions. So they have this handy-duty little chart reference thing. So for the orange, it gains 1 animal card. In this case, it will gain 2. The north wind prioritizes animals in this order. It wants animals that match ones it already has or animals with acorn icons. So basically, it's going to take this squirrel, because that's an acorn icon. And probably it would take the other squirrel, because it's trying to make sets. So that's sort of how the orange actions work for the AI. And then for the brown actions, it just moves up this tree, which we haven't really talked about yet. But it's just, you're moving the squirrel up, and then you just kind of get the tokens or the cards or the actions that correspond to those icons. It's just a way to kind of get some extra actions and extra bonuses. And it has sort of this curling kind of path of different intersections. So you just choose which intersection to take when you get to forks in the road. And if somebody's ahead of you and you want to go that way, you just jump over them to the next one. And if you get to the top of the tree, you can't then swing back around. This isn't with great haste, where you're then climbing back down from the top of the tower, which is a lovely unpublished game that we played at RageCon. Hi, Michelle. So once you get to the top of the tree, you can't go any further. So if you would take the brown action and you're already at the top of the tree, you just get an acorn for however many brown actions you had. So this AI card tells you kind of how to resolve intersections on the tree to make that choice. So it'll give you an arrow for either left or right, which way it's going to go when it gets to an intersection, if it does. So in this case, it's going to move up 2, and at the start, there's only one way to go. So my AI is yellow, right? So it's going to go here and get a sun token, because that's a sun icon. Then it's going to go again and get another sun token. So once the AI has 3 sun tokens, at the end of the AI turn, it's going to automatically move this guy up, which I need to move him back to the start. Which will obviously speed up the game, and it will also get more acorns from being the one to bump that track. So that's all for the AI. It's not too bad. It is a little bit more of having to do this kind of A, B, C, D kind of process of elimination thing. So you're doing quite a bit of management, but there it is. Okay, it's back to my turn. So I wanna get it going. Oh, I have 2 of the same cards. So I don't know if I explained yet, but if you discard 2 cards that are the same, you get a leaf boost, which lets you place a baby mushroom onto your leaf. Now, normally, and that's placing mushrooms generally is the red action, but which I'm probably going to try to do actually. So I have 2 tulip poplars here, which are these sort of, you know, splayed looking ones. And so I discarded two, so I'm going to be able to place one of my little mushrooms, one of my little tuck pucks here. Let me decide how I'm going to place it. Probably like that. So, like, you know, this game obviously is all about placing the leaves in the smartest way possible. After you played it a couple times, you start to see more clearly what are the connections. But, you know, the first couple times you can have a lot of AP just trying to be like, okay, is this one the one that fits the best, or this one? And then also you're thinking about which action that leaf is going to give you, not just on this round, but on future rounds when you're potentially connecting to the leaf you placed in a previous round. So things to keep in mind. So I connected here, and I get to place a baby mushroom on it automatically because of my leaf boost. So always resolve the mushroom things first. Yay, we have a little baby mushroom. So these are double-sided. So one side is the baby side, has the little kind of roots, like little baby spore. And then later on, we're going to be trying to flip them over using red actions onto their adult side. They will only score for us when they are fully grown mushrooms. And so you want to get groups that are adjacent on adjacent leaves, and you can only ever place one mushroom on each leaf. And also you can't block each other, you know, so both people can have mushrooms on the same leaf. We're just each limited to one on that leaf. And so I'm going to be scoring for adjacency. So I want 3 adjacent mushrooms will get me 8 points, I believe. So yeah, a single mushroom is just 1 point. If it's an adult at the end of the game, the babies will not score at the end of the game. 2 will get me 3. 3 adjacent mushrooms will get me 8. And there's only +1 for every mushroom beyond that. So last game I realized, there's no benefit to growing my mushroom groups beyond 4, really. I want 2 groups of 3, because that's 16 points versus 10 points, you know? So the bigger the group, the returns are less once you pass 3. So that's also going to be another thing to keep in mind. So, because it's not really area majorities, it's just kind of it's more set collection meets area action. But so I have 2 orange and 2 red actions because I connected here. So 2 orange, that's more animals, and 2 red is more mushrooms. I'm gonna do my mushroom actions first, just because. And so that could either be flipping this mushroom to the adult side or placing 2 more mushrooms. And you don't have to place your mushrooms adjacent to each other. You can place your mushrooms anywhere within this leaf tableau pile thing, as long as you don't already have a mushroom on that leaf. So in this case, though, I am just going to go boop, boop, my babies. Spread my babies. Spore, spore. There is another mushroom game coming out. Elizabeth Hargrave's new Kickstarter is Undergrowth. That's a mushroom themed game that I'm very excited about as well. I love one of our favorite 2-player games actually is Morels, which is another mushroom themed game. So love me some mushrooms. So I do my red action. So now I need to do my orange action. So I'm going to gain more animal cards. Well, this porcupine's looking pretty good because I already have 2. Should I go for 4 or should I just take the frog? I don't like this frog. He's like so delightfully, he's got like this almost ugly kind of mottled skin. I love this artwork. It's very like storybook. It's very like, you know, some storybook about trying to teach kids about the difference between deciduous and evergreen trees. Like, it's very much the vibe. Like I said, like 3 animals is really the best scoring because that gets me 6 and it's only +1 for each. But 7 is better than 6. And I don't know what's going to happen with the AI. It might take all the frogs from me. Baby, what do you think? Get in the chat. Tell me what to do. He's just posting emojis. Okay. I think I will I'll just take the other porcupine. Whatever. I mean, a frost is probably going to happen before too long anyway. Oh, there's another frog. Well, there's that. So that's my turn. Oh, also, well, I'll explain how reactions work once the AI starts placing mushrooms. But anytime you start your turn, before you resolve your actions, you should always check for any reactions. So, like, if you place a leaf adjacent to a leaf, if you place a leaf that touches a leaf that has the opponent's mushroom on it, they get a sun token automatically if it's the largest mushroom on that leaf. So, let's say, because this is probably going to come up pretty soon, I have a feeling. If there was something like this, so let's say the AI had a fully adult chanterelle, and I just had a baby morel still, and the AI had placed this leaf, they would get a sun token. I'm sorry, they wouldn't get anything. The player who places it doesn't get a sun token. Very important to note. I would not get a sun token, though, even though I'm there and they place the leaf adjacent to it, because I don't have the biggest mushroom on that leaf. So if you're the only one with a mushroom there, whether it's a baby or an adult, you're the biggest because you're the only one there. So you would get a sun token. That makes sense. And as this guy starts to spread out, it probably will start to make more sense to you guys. So that's my turn. So now it's time for the AI. So we got to flip another card. Okay, so they want a sweet gum and they want to place it next to an orange. And again, you have to think about the different kinds of priorities when you're resolving for it still. So I still want it to connect to as many leaf tips as possible that match the color. So I want to connect to as many orange tips as I possibly can. This probably would be it. You also want to connect as many leaf tips as possible. So this would connect 3. That would connect 4, however. So that's probably the one you want to do. You generally want to do the juicier one. And again, red, orange, brown, yellow, green is the priority of colors. So red, orange, yellow. Green is the lowest priority. So yeah, that probably is what we need to do for him. Them. I mean, there's no gender to the wind. Okay. So what actions is this chick doing? And it didn't connect to less than 3. So it doesn't automatically get a mushroom yet. But it did place next to my mushrooms. So I am going to get 2 sun tokens now. They triggered that reaction for me, which is very good. I'm very happy about that. It does say there's a thing where it will try not to connect. It will connect to the least number of leaves with mushrooms of the human player. So it is trying to avoid this kind of situation, but placing next to the orange and getting as many steps as possible would trump that. And there's no other orange leaves it's going to connect to, so it has to connect to this one. Because if it connected here, would that still be 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it would be the same, and it wouldn't. This is the part where you kind of do have to make decisions for the AI. It's like, I don't want to make decisions for my opponent. I just don't want to do that. But so if you struggle with that kind of thing, if you're a competitive person in the solo mode, and you don't want to help the AI, this will be a very hard solo mode for you. But yeah, it says you want to prioritize these requirements. So connect to as many leaf tips that match the leaf color action shown on the card as possible. Connect to the most number of tips total. They're both 4 and 4. Connect to the least number of leaves with mushrooms of the players. So I think this is what I would need to do. So I need to return one of my sun tokens. So that's what's happening there. So now we can go to its actual actions, which is 2 green and 2 orange. And I believe when it connects to green, because the AI doesn't use these leaf cards, It's just going to get acorn points. Yeah, it just gets 2 acorns. So this is one of those ways in which the AI will just start racking up a ton of points, which is not great. And then it has 2 orange actions, which, as we've established, are animal cards. So it already has squirrels, so it definitely wants the squirrel with the acorn, which means it's going to get another acorn. Oh, I don't think I gave it an acorn before when I collected that first squirrel, did I? Huh. So. Stupid AI. Stupid north wind. Blowing into my home. Putting out my half fire. Now the children will die of cold and develop pneumonia. And then it needs to take another card. And so it's probably going to take this frog because it wants cards with acorns. Boo! That means it gets another acorn. That's me, like, just spitting my venom at that north wind like Rich does when we're driving around. The other drivers are being too slow or otherwise dumb. Okay. Well, there's the AI. I think they're done. They don't have 3 of those sun tokens yet. So, I think we resolved all things. Oh, there's a cute little turtle. And a very majestic looking owl, the moon. Whoo, whoo. So, oh, I wish there wasn't as much glare up there. Sorry, guys. Well, whatever. This is looking pretty. That stuff up there is looking kind of crooked, so I just want to fix that a little bit. Okay. Well, where to next? Where to? I want to work on these mushrooms. I only have 2 cards, so I'm going to need to think about getting some cards soon. Moving up this tree would be nice, just to get some extra stuff and potential actions. Maybe triggering a frost. Well, I think in either case, I should play the silver maple one. Let me do some green and some brown. Does that sound good? I'm gonna need more cards in either case. So. And I didn't trigger any reactions or anything. Okay, so I got my 2 green. Now I just need to move 2 up here. So we get a sun token. This guy's blocking the other sun token, so I'm thinking I'm going to go the other way, away from it, and just go to get another leaf card. So that round was about just filling up my hand again, I guess. Still don't have 3 leaf tokens, or 3 sun tokens, so I can't trigger that up there, but I have a feeling it's going to do it pretty soon. So, onward. Oh, reshuffle the solo deck. One moment. While we reshuffle. It's sort of like in a Metro X, you know, when you have that reshuffle card popping up. So, just to help further randomize this thing, because again, you can see there's really not that many cards in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Which sounds like the average number of rounds in this game, actually. But I guess that's just to make it further variable, so you're not just, you know, potentially like playing for the exact same order of cards every time. So, you know, that was a smart solo design decision, in my personal opinion. This AI is a lot to manage. It's not too bad, though. I mean, it's like, oh, I still have to make a decision. I'm just making a decision that helps them and potentially harms me. And they do a pretty good job. I haven't had issues where I wasn't able to figure out what I should do. Sometimes I was a little uncertain, but I think they did a good job of making clear, like, what the list of priorities are. So it's not confusing. It's just a lot of extra brain work. for no benefit to myself. Okay, well, now the AI is going. It says reshuffle again. Okay, I will do as instructed. I'll do that. I'll check the chat here. Put your stinger away or pay me royalties. You're so funny, Reg. That's my patented sting. Oh, there's a couple other players at some point. That's good. If you are here, definitely get in the chat. Let us know that you exist and you're not a ghost from the internet ether. The Ethernet. Remember Ethernet? Ethernet cables? They're just so funny. I can't with these sometimes. Okay, there's not a reshuffle card. Jeez Louise. Can you see this a little bit? Probably not very well, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so they want a sweet gum thing, and they want to place it next to yellow. Oh yeah, they probably want to do something like this, but they want to try to avoid getting next to me. So probably, well, I don't think they're going to be able to avoid it in either case. So I think they want to prioritize more actions. Dost thou thinkest? Thou thinkest? This is interesting. Is it considered connected to that? I think so. Though I think that's definitely what it should do. Oh. Oh, okay. So Tim's working on his Nemo's War right now. I really have been eyeing that one at Great Escape lately. Let me know if it's good because I really want to try that one. I've heard it's a really good solo game. So next up, this beautiful leafy life we're living. You can live the life you're living. You can live the leaf you like. You can even marry autumn or mess around with... Oh, what's a tree that rhymes with Ike? Oh, isn't it good? Isn't it swell? Okay, anyway, the game. I placed that guy. And I am going to get 2 sun tokens, which is good because my next turn, I'm not going to trigger a frost, but at least I can get some damn acorns up in this bitch. So they got 4 orange actions and 2 yellow actions. Lordy Lou. So they're just going to take all these animals. Oh, Lordy Lou. Well, so much for that frog and turtle I was eyeing. But, I don't know, flushed out the market, if nothing else. So now they're just going to have, oh, but they have that. Did they get any acorns? They did get an acorn from this owl here. And, oh, just do not have room. It's kind of a table hog, guys. For such a light game, it's such a table hog. But these are safely over here. So here, I'll just do a big old pile of things. Whatever. That's a little duo that it has. Oh my god, it's starting to get a little messy, isn't it? Is that straighter? Okay. So, then it has 2 yellow actions, which is generally just gain sun tokens. I think that works the same for the AI. Yeah, they just gain sun tokens. Which means they're now, they have more than 3 send tokens. So the AI is now going to automatically trigger, not automatically, but if they get to the end of the AI turn and they have 3 send tokens, they do this, and that's all their actions. So they're going to move along this track up here and take 6 acorns, which may actually be advantageous for me because then I can just trigger a frost on my next turn before they can get more animal cards. Oh, they still need to get one more animal card. So we have to refill, and then they have to take one more. And again, they always prioritize building sets that they already have. Just making the sets they have bigger. Or acorns. Now, this is interesting. They prioritize making groups of 3. So if they already have a group of 3, if the squirrel, they're going to prioritize the acorn. So they're trying to, if you already have a group of 3, they're going to work on their 2s instead. Is basically how that works. And they get another acorn. See what I told you? Like, I have 1 acorn, and look at how many acorns this bitch already has. 1 second, because I think maybe that's not the good way to go, but I think maybe getting this light a little closer would fix some of the glare issues, and also maybe, not the glare, but light the AI up a little so you can see it a little better. Okay, things are getting very verklempt because I just don't have enough room. This is good practice for when I try to figure out how we're going to set up for the our 2-player playthrough, which we are filming a 2-player playthrough for this one. So, did I do all the AI's things? It got its 2 yellow, it got 1 more card, and then it triggered a frost. So it's done. So back to it. So I don't have any doubles this time. I'm going to be able to trigger the frost no matter what. So maybe I should prioritize getting more animal cards. I mean, I'm definitely going to put in the porcupines. But there's no more porcupines there. But maybe I can start working on my next animal set. There's some nice orange and green going on over here. So, I have a variety of things. I'm not sure what would be good. Like if I did this ginkgo, well, I guess I should base my decision on what icons are there that I want to set up. So these ginkgo ones, these little fan-shaped ones, they only have these 3 highlights. So they often create kind of like these dead ends that are kind of hard to build out from, which is good if you're trying to keep the leaves from getting into your player area. So I'm very tempted to do it here and just get some red and yellow actions, which would be more send tokens. That's sounding pretty good to me right now. Get off my porcupine stuff. And one of the nice things is, though, you can create a very nice connection if you place them at the right time. They look like little butts. My little butt leaf. So I get 2 yellow and 2 red. So, is that the best place to put that? You'd like to trigger the little highlight too, right? That would be nice, because if you do something like this, actually would be pretty good. Because then I get 2 green and a yellow, and then I can connect out over here and utilize that stem highlight a little bit better. Only 1 send token though. I like the idea of triggering a little more red though and getting more mushrooms, but you know, maybe that's not so necessary. Or do I want to try and get some animals too? This here, I would get 2 green and 2 orange. And you could still connect here and trigger that red on these sides. So that's probably a little more advantageous, I think. I'm going to trigger a frost anyway. So that's my 2 green. I just took 2 cards for that. And then my 2 orange. How about these 2 turtles? I want to get some turtles going on. That's seeming good to me. And now I can trigger a frost. Neither of those had an acorn on them. Yay, I'm triggering a frost and also getting 5 more acorns to help me like try to catch up with this chick. So I'm going to move my 4 possums down into my winter den. I like to tuck them, but you don't have to. But, you know, it's pretty much off the camera anyway, for all intents and purposes. Is it completely off camera? Yeah. Just know the possums, the porcupines are down here. They're stowed away, safe and sound. I'll move it up ever so slightly so you can kind of see. And these are mine. These are not part of whatever the AI's got going on over here. So then the AI is going to ferret away its 3 squirrels. That's a pretty easy decision to make for the AI. And I will similarly just tuck them like that. And that is, I think that's all the end of my turn. Right, and there were no reactions or anything. So now we refill, and it's going to be the AI's turn again. What do they got? Another sweet gum to orange. Uh-oh. So, they don't want to get anywhere near mine. See, and they want to touch as many of the orange tips as possible. This will give them 2 orange, 2 green, and a red action. That would be pretty sweet for them, wouldn't it? Is it possible to get it to touch more than 2? Because if it is, I think I'd have to do that. I don't think so. I think this is probably the most advantageous for them. And they connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips. So it's pretty good. So their red action for the mushrooms, is this going to be the first mushroom they're placing? I think so. And it has a thing about, it works a little bit differently after the first hibernation, which is the first frost. Same thing. So it says grow baby mushrooms to, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the second thing. This is before the first hibernation. For the first action, place a baby mushroom on the plate leaf. For additional red actions, place a baby mushroom on the adjacent leaf with the most open tips. If all adjacent leaves have mushrooms, grow 1 to adult. It sounds a little complicated, but basically you're just placing a baby. And if you have other reds, you're spreading them out adjacently. And then this is after the first hibernation, so we'd be growing any baby mushrooms to adults, prioritizing making groups of 3, connected adult mushrooms, but they don't have any yet. It says if there are no baby mushrooms, place a baby mushroom on a leaf adjacent to the largest group of mushrooms that has less than 3. So it's like if there were already like some ones out there, you'd place next to those, but there's none. So I think it's just placing a mushroom, and I think it's saying it has to be somewhere adjacent to that leaf. The one with the most open tips would probably be this one. So I think that's how that works. And they got 2 green, which as we've established is just points for the AI. And then 2 orange, which is more animals. I mean, they have a lot. They're trying to build here, but they prioritize groups of 3, so they're probably going to work on the turtles, and that'll give them another acorn. Bitch. And probably another owl, because it also has an acorn, and they always prioritize those, and that's another group of 2 for them to work on. And another acorn. I'm going to need to make some change on these acorns here. I love dice mitigation, Tim, and Rich loves dice chucking. I mean, I like dice chucking too. Who doesn't? So it's a lot of like rolling for like, damage. Is this more scenario based or story based? Nemo's War. I don't know. It looks good. I like that theme. I like that cool sort of like, late Victorian literature kind of aesthetic. As a former English major, I would you'd probably get into like, it's just fascinating, having it be from Nemo's perspective. To me, I think there's some novel that's supposed to be like, because it's inspired by 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, right? So, sounds like kind of like a lighter Sleeping Gods, right? You're on your boat, you're traveling around. Are we fighting a giant squid in Nemo's War? Because I'm all about that action. I'm going to make some change for this AI real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Tim says. Hilarious. Yeah, I think it's one I'm going to get eventually, or at least maybe next convention we go to, if they had a copy, I might try it. But I don't know. Like, playing a solo game at a convention is a little weird. Motives. Different motives. Okay. Yeah. I just heard a lot of good things about it. So, Kraken. Okay. Release the Kraken! Cool. Okay. So back to my turn yet. I have to refill for this chick. I think I resolved all their actions. Okay. Well, I have plenty of cards. That's good. I'm not moving up this tree enough. I need to move up this tree more. Which is going to mean getting adjacent to this brown action. And okay. I'm going to try a thing. Can I move this whole thing? Do you think I can do it, guys? Oh, not on this tablecloth. If you're on felt or something like that, it might work. But I'm not going to be able to move this. Really. So what I'm going to do is just move my whole player aid action instead and see if that helps. It probably won't, but and then I want to have room for my animal cards though. Will that help? I doubt it, but whatever. I'm going to be placing here in either case. Would this be a good place to do a ginkgo? Do I have two of anything? I do not. I basically have one of each. So let's just do another ginkgo. And put that there. Do I want a bunch of animals right now, though? I want the brown. Let's get some red. Grow some baby mushrooms because they're all still. I got my little mushroom nursery here. My shroomery happening. So let's do that. And again, like I said, I might have mentioned, when you're triggering reactions, it doesn't affect your own mushrooms, only the opponent's mushrooms. And yeah, so I didn't want to place that there. I don't want to give the AI any more sun tokens. Fuck the AI. So it's 2 brown, 2 red. Let me do my red. I'm just going to make these some adults. So at least I'll get that scoring. And then I'm going to move up this tree. So there's an acorn point that I desperately need. Because this AI's got 15, 16, 17. Okay, now I have 7. So we're at a margin of 10. And then another acorn. Small cuts. That's what that is. And I don't have enough to trigger, to move that frost track or hibernation track, I think is what it's called. So now the AI is just going to go again. And they're working on the ginkgos. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned the endgame trigger is when we pass this winter line, by the way, or if there's 3 empty leaf piles. So, just a heads up. And once these leaf piles empty, if you play a card, that matches an empty leaf pile, like there's no leaf to take, it works like a wild and you can take any leaf. So that's a nice little end game midnight advantage thing. So it's placed in a ginkgo and it wants to place it next to brown. And probably here because it doesn't want to place next to me anyway. And there's the brown, and that's pretty much the only way that's going to fit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't get a baby mushroom. It's an interesting rule. I remember it triggering that rule with the baby mushrooms a little bit more often, because it needs to connect to 3 or less. But your priority of placing tiles for the AI is to connect to as many leaf tips as possible. Oh, that match the leaf color action shown on the card as possible. But you also want to connect to the most number of tips total. So, the last game, that AI was spreading mushrooms like crazy. That's not happening so much this game, so there's hope for me. There is hope. Dim hope, but a hope. So it's going to do 2 orange and 2 brown. So, and it's going to, when it gets to any intersections per this card, it's going to always choose the left fork. So it's going to go up, get an animal card, and again, it wants to prioritize making its group of 3s and anything that has an acorn icon on it. None of these have an acorn icon, so probably the frog. So it gets that group of 3 frogs, which, frogs are always so elusive for me in this game. I don't know why. I'm usually, last game I just got 3 sets of birds, and I'm not even that into birds, so whatever. Was that 2? No, that was just 1, huh? So then it's going to go, it only has one way to go, which is to get another acorn. Also, the highest squirrel on the tree track gets 6 points, and the second highest gets 3. And I don't believe that changes for a 2 or solo game. I think that's still the same. I may need to double check that when we get to scoring, but so did I finish triggering all? No, that was just the brown. So it needs to do the red now. The red. Which are its mushrooms. So it's going to grow baby mushrooms to adults is the first thing it does with its first action. Then it's going to place a baby mushroom on the played leaf. That's before the first hibernation. After the first hibernation, we always grow the mushrooms first. And then I think, yeah, it says just place another one. And you want to place it adjacent to... Oh, that's mine. Those are my mushrooms. Hands off my shrooms. I think that's how it'll do it. It says you want to build out adjacently and you prioritize placing on the played leaf for the AI. So it ignores that rule. Okay. That was actually not too juiced up of a turn for the AI. So there are occasional reprieves here. So I think I wanna bump that track a little bit, and because the more in a multiplayer game, you're often incentivized to delay the end game trigger as long as possible, so you can do more stuff. But in this case, I think I want to speed the game up because that's just more time I'm giving the AI to get stuff that I don't want it to get, right? Unless I think it's really going to behoove me. But all that to say, I'm thinking of getting some sun tokens and bumping up that hibernation track. But I need more animals first, I think. In either case, I think I want to do... I don't know, I haven't played a Trident Maple yet. This little cool looking one. Does that seem good? That would be 2. That would also be 2, but I'd get an orange and a red, and I could start growing out in this direction, you know what I'm saying? Here, let's do that. Let's just do 2 yellow and do this end. No, that's not what I want to do yet. I said I want orange, right? This would be better in general, though obviously now I'm getting into my area. But that would be 2 yellow and 2 orange. So I could get the animals I need and then trigger the hibernation, which sounds good to me, actually. If there were more turtles. So maybe I have a feeling the AI is going to do it next turn, though. But it only has 1 sun token, though. Maybe this isn't the leaf I want to do then. Maybe this just is not it. I could go here, get 2 red and 2 orange, and just go for those birds. I'm feeling like that's what I should do. Okay. I mean, I could pick a different leaf, but I don't particularly want to. So that's 1 orange and 2 red. Oh, 1 orange. I don't want it to get more of these owls. Maybe I could work on the owls. The owls are cool. Well, let's just take an owl. That's fine. And then I get 2 red. So I could make this an adult. And let's start building another group, like over here or something. I don't know. Got to start on the baby side, though. Okay. That's me. Okay, what are you doing, AI? Reshuffle. Wow, that reshuffle card didn't come out until like the very last turn, the first time I played this solo, so it's coming out with a vengeance. This game, I guess. Wow. Boop, 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 boop. I need to sip on some tea. That's a thing. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle these cards for this Northwind AI bot. Barbecue sauce. Okay, so they're doing one of these, whatever they're called, the little 4 little squat looking ones next to yellow. And that one's mine, so they probably don't want to go there. They probably want to do something like this. Get the most tips, get the most connected to yellow. That doesn't have one of my mushrooms on it. Oh, aren't these all my mushrooms over here, though? But that's going to give them the most connections. And these are the places where you just have to make a choice for them. So, again, the order of operations. It wants to connect to as many leaf tips that match the leaf color as possible, connect to the most total number of tips, which this does, and connect to the least number of leaves with mushrooms as the human player. Well, it's connecting to 2 of mine. So, but again, that's the third, that's at the bottom of the level of priority. However, I don't know, if they went over here, they'd still connect to 2 and they'd only be connected to 1, but they wouldn't be connected to as many leaf tips. So I think this is a case where it's going to prioritize connecting to leaf tips over the mushroom things. And I just get 2 sun tokens. Cool. I like some passive income. For real. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tip connections. Oh, that one is good. What's that one called again? I'll have to remember that for future. That's the tulip poplar. These are all trees native to the Pacific Northwest because this designer and publisher is located in Portland, I believe. Oh, never refilled there. Whoops. So, I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking. It's the AI's turn. They need 2 yellow, which, as we've established, is just sun tokens. So they're going to trigger that at the end of this turn. Then they get 2 red, which is more mushrooms, which I think they just prioritize flipping over their babies first, because it's after the first hibernation, and then extending their group adjacently to create a group of 3. So I think like that makes sense. And that was their 2 red, and then they have 2 orange. So they want to build groups of 3. They haven't started on any of those, and none of this one has the acorn though. So they always take the ones with acorns. Look at this bounty of zoo this AI has going on. It's crazy, and you don't get extra points for just collecting a lot of different animals, as I said. So it's kind of whatever. So, is that everything for them? Oh, they're triggering this, so they get 5 more acorns. Well, that means I'm definitely going to be triggering a frost on my turn now. So let me refill the animals real quick. And we are going to probably make some decisions. Because games are often about making decisions, unless you're playing Yahtzee. Which, me and Rich, you might notice behind me, we finally got a physical copy of Yahtzee at Goodwill for $1.99. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And it actually has all the dice in it. Like, you do not know how many times I've been at the Goodwill, opened up a Yahtzee box, and there's no dice in it. That's like the main component in the game. Like, it's just like a cup and a partially used score pad often. But this one had them in, and these dice are pretty lucky. I don't know. I think that whoever gifted this is like one of those like pass it on type of things, because I think it has good mojo. It is a pretty game, Tim. Leaf, not Yahtzee. You're talking about Yahtzee while I should be playing this game, right? It is a very pretty game, and that's why I backed it. It's very autumn. The leaves, it's so good. It's a little bit of a table hog for how light it is, but we even our roommate played this one with us, and they really liked it a lot. It's a lot of depth of strategy for how light the rules overhead is, which is like, and I love this art. Once I saw this art, I was like, I have to have it. So it's my turn now to do things. And I need animals. I need a collection. The animals I need are there. I'm just going to be having 2 turtles here. That's the way she goes. I mean, I think I should just trigger the frost to get the points, Look at your leaf. Look at your choices. Maybe the mushroom scoring is where it's at. Like something here would probably be good. I think maybe that tulip poplar. And we'll do something like this. I know, this is starting to get a little off screen, isn't it? But there's a tulip poplar there. Oh, God. But I think that's going to be the most advantageous for me because I get 1 red and 2 orange. Get some mushroom. Get some animals. You know, actually though, if I put it here, just get an animal and 2 more cards. I mean, I only have 2 cards in my hand, but... Or just do something like this. No, it's not going to work. Get a yellow. Here's 2 orange and a yellow, and it's not, you know, completely off camera yet. Whatever. Or do I want the brown? Because I could place over here. And now would get me 2 orange and a brown instead. I don't need the sun tokens right now. Now I'm starting to get into my player area, so I'm going to have to move it again. I think I will do that. Just to move up this track. And then I can hop over this guy. Boop! With my little squirrel. And get 2 acorns. That's what I'm doing. We're doing it here. Different. And then for the 2 orange, I mean, I guess just these 2 blackbirds is what it's got to be. I don't have anything else. And so I have the 2 orange. So I think we're just triggering the frost. It's what's happening. So at least I will get 4 acorns.
How you go?
And so I have to decide which one of these to put down. I guess these blackbirds. How about the turtles? Whatever, just because I like the turtles. And there's less points, but, you know, I mean, I got the 4 acorns from going over the frost thing. So then I have to decide who's going here. Oh, the 3 frogs for the AI. Boo. I want the frogs because you have the cute little waddle thing. Oh, they're so tender. So tender little boys. Well, that's that. That's the frost. And you can see we're getting closer to winter. Winter is coming, Tim. It's coming, whether we want it to or not. There's a frog. I was talking about the frog. I mean, probably I want to get more blackbirds. More owls or something. I don't know. And the AI is going to be going. I'm going to make some change with my acorns here real quick. They just start piling up. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 14 here. Also, am I going to need to move? I don't think I need to move this quite yet. See, I tried to get it somewhere center in the table, hoping it would go out this way, but it's kind of always coming towards you. So, that's that. So, what's the AI going to do to me? Okay. Little trident maple. And it wants to get next to orange. And I think this is the one because it'll get connections to 3 orange. How do you like them apples? I don't like apples. I hate apples. I know. I'm the weirdest person in the world. I think apple pie is absolutely disgusting. Rachel's always like, why? What happened in your life? I'm like, my parents and my older sisters are what happened to my life to make me hate things like apples and apple pie. It is the time of year to go apple hill, though. Oh, we need to make the yearly pilgrimage rich to Apple Health, but I'm not going to eat anything apple, obviously. But wine. There's winery action and, I don't know, a hayride. I'm still waiting on that hayride. There, Richard. We did go to a pumpkin patch, though. They had cute little baby pigs. They had some alpacas, baby rabbits. Good times. Good times. I'm doing stuff for the AI, right? 3 orange. So they're just going to take 3 Animo. Well, the frogs are gone now. So I think they're taking a raven. And then anything that has an acorn icon. So this fox. So they get another one of those. And I need to make some change for their acorns here, though. I think that's it for the AI because it doesn't have any sun tokens, right? And we did the 3 animals for them. Okay, so they just refill. And now I get to take a turn. And I would like some sun tokens, perhaps. Get closer to triggering the end of the game before we've been playing for an hour. I don't know. It didn't feel like it's an hour game. Maybe it took me an hour last time, but you can see we're kind of getting to the final stretch. So, and I'm talking to you, so trying to talk you through it. Sweet gum or sassafras? I'm feeling pretty sassy, I think. So do I just want more green cards and a sun token? Or maybe I don't want to do sassafras. Maybe I'm not feeling that sassy. Maybe I'm feeling more sweet. So sweet gum it is. Because that'll get some more red on the board for me to connect to. This is orange. Oh, it's red. The reds look orangey and it's a little hard. That's why, you don't have to be colorblind to be confused by these colors. So I do like that they put the action icons on the tiles. It helps a lot. So why don't we do something like this? So then I'll get a yellow, 2 orange, and a red. That's seeming pretty good to me right now. So I'll get a sun token. Let's do my red next for my mushrooms. I have this guy over here. I think I want to add another one adjacent to him. And then hopefully I can grow them before the end of the game. Then I get 2 orange, so I get 2 more animals. I'm so tempted by the frog, you guys. But that's not the strategic choice. Don't want those damn squirrels, but that probably is the more strategic choice. Oh, I want this guy, for sure. Get 3 blackbirds up in this chick. None of those have... You know what? I'll just take the frog. Just because I like him. Yeah. I love my frog, He's so peaceful looking, isn't he? Those eyes, no true peace. They're so empty of thought. What a delightful concept. Stop thinking, as my old music theory professor used to say. Though he was talking about trees, but he was talking about secondary dominant trees. Oh, Lord. I was trying to explain to a student on Friday about how jazz harmony works and jazz chord voicings. And she was like, that's a lot of numbers. Oh, yeah. Jazz is mathy. And well, I should not say her name on stream. Whoops. Respect her privacy. So that was me. I took my my actions. Did I trigger anything? No, I didn't trigger any reactions because it's got its little chanterelles over here. There's some cute little mushroom tokens. So that was me. I can't trigger another hibernation thing yet. So this AI is going. Getting that trident popular. Popular. I want to be popular. And it wants to go next to green. And this would make probably a decent number of connections. Which would not. It would be adjacent to one of my guys, though. So maybe it wants to do this. That would be 1, 2, 3 connections. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So again, it always prioritizes the most connections. And if it happens to be next to me, well... okay. So it placed here. So that's 2 green, a yellow, and a red. So the 2 green is it gets 2 more points. Boo. Then the yellow, it gets a sun token. And then the red, it's because we're after the first hibernation, it always prioritizes growing its babies. So, nice. That wasn't too bad. Okay, it hasn't triggered anything yet. That's good. So, we need to get busy. I only have 1 card left. I need to get more cards. Oh my god. I lulled my baby to sleep with the melodic susurrations of my voice. That's good. I mean, hey, John says he literally like puts us on and to help him get to sleep. So I am totally fine with being ASMR as long as I get the views and the subs. It's all about the subs. Pew, pew. I need to get some green. Well, I only have 1 card, so it makes that choice easy. I have to get some sassafras, and I'm going to need some cards. I don't want to have to take negative points. You know what I'm saying? That would be okay. This would be better. At least I get a card and 2 orange. I don't want those dumb squirrels. So I don't want orange. I want green. As much green as possible. But this is not great. Can I do something like this? Is that considered a connection here? I think I can do that. I think I can just like kind of nestle that in there. Oh my god. And then I'd get a brown, 2 green, and an orange. I mean, it says in the rule book, when in doubt of whether it is legal placement or not, you just want to go by the highlighted tips. Because sometimes, and they said they don't have to be completely touching. So there's a little bit of loosey-goosiness. Not too much, but I think that's fine. So I can get 2 cards instead of 1 and bump this track up. So I'm yellow, right? Do I want a sun token? I think I want a sun token because then I could trigger another hibernation thing. Oh, but it's just I would just get points. I'm not going to get hibernated. But that's points I'm taking away from the AI. So did my brown. Now I just need to do my orange and take an animal. Well, I already hibernated the turtle. Jesus wept. I wish I had a fox. I don't want to have to take the squirrels, but... You happy, Rich? I took the squirrel. Okay, I think that's it's not quite the end of my turn. Because... 4 acorns. And I'm just going to return 1 and take 5. Okay. Doing a little better than I did last time against the AI. We shall see. Last time the AI got 40 more points than I did. It was insane. So I'll be curious to see how this pops out. It's not spreading mushrooms as much as last time. So it is quite variable, this deck, actually, in the way that it plays out. So that's good. Let's refill that, and the AI is taking another turn, and let's see what it does. Oh, I didn't trigger any reactions there, so that's good. Ginkgo Balboa. It's Ginkgo Biloba. That's why that's funny, Rich. I just realized that. Balboa is a neighborhood in LA. So, where does it want to place? It wants to place next to orange. And get as many of those orange connections as possible that aren't adjacent to me. Neither of these are adjacent to me. I think it's going to want to place here that's 2, and it would get more. Again, it's hard. I'm trying to fit everything on screen, but also it's getting up into my areas. My areas. I don't really think I have a soothing voice, Rich, but it's important as my lover that you think so. I guess it's not the most annoying. There's certainly been people in my life that have disagreed, though. People have never said I have an annoying voice. They just say I'm loud. So, you know, projection. So, what am I doing? Oh, I was resolving the AI's things. So I think that's where it wants to go. And it is adjacent to me, so I do get a sun token. Cool. And it's connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Those ginkgo leaves in this, they can create dead ends if you're not careful with them, but sometimes they can actually give you some really good connections, even though they're like the smaller leaves and they only have 3 highlights on them. So, you know. So, yellow, they get another sun token. Uh-oh. 2 orange, they're going to take 2 more animals. What are they going to take? Probably the foxes? Yeah, the foxes, so they can get a group of 3. That's their priority. And then 2 red. Do they have any babies? No. So I think they're just going to put out some more. They already have a group of 3. So do they try to make a different group of 3? Or... yeah, I think it starts on the placed leaf. That's what they're saying to me. So, but they don't want to just extend the group to 4. They want to make a different one. So, where should I place it? Well, it says for the first action, place a baby mushroom on the played leaf. That's before the first hibernation. Grow baby mushrooms to adults, prioritizing making groups of 3 connected adult mushrooms. If there are no baby mushrooms, place a baby mushroom on a leaf adjacent to the largest group of mushrooms that has less than 3. So, for the first one, for additional reactions, place a baby mushroom on the adjacent leaf with the most open tips. So, again, I think you're trying to make decisions that are going to be better for the AI. And if I did this here, or here, as they say, I'm just extending this group. I'm only giving them 1 additional point. But if I started making a group of 3, it says you only do that for groups that have less than 3. This already has 3, so I think I need to place it somewhere else. I don't know. Over there. We'll make sure it's a baby. Wah! The mushrooms, can you hear them? They're going wee, wee, wee. Softly for their gills. Because mushrooms have gills, you know? And oh, one more actually because it has 2 mushroom actions, right? Oh, put one there. Sure, why not? um, I think that's all they do because they don't have enough Sun tokens to trigger that, right? Yeah, because they just gave me a Sun token. So now it's back to me. We need to get to winter here, okay? Because, you know. So how about a tulip poplar? Was the last one there. In either case. Do that. Get some red. And some brown. Move up that thing on the tree track. Rich says I get louder when I drink. Wow, even louder. 2 brown and a red. Do I have any babies still? Yeah, I got these babies over here that need some maturing. So there's my red. And my 2 brown, well, only one way to go. I'm getting another animal. Should I get another owl? Or yeah, I want the owl. Screw the squirrels. And then I get another sun token. Okay. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. And that's it, I think. Yeah. Refill. Let's see. I do reshuffle it. More reshuffling. What? Such a small deck, you know? Such is life, such is life. Okay, Rich, are you heading over after this, or what's happening? You let me know. So I'm feeling peckish. I didn't even have any breakfast. There was much midnight snacking though, so I don't even know what's left. I still have stuff for salad, I think. Okay. They're going to take one of these little sassafrasses, which have been very neglected this game. And they want to place next to brown, so they're going to be... have to move this up a bit now. Because I think they're going to go up in here. Up in here. So there's some brown there. Brown there. I guess like that. That would be connection to 3 brown. So that's probably it. Ooh. So when we do the playthrough, I'm going to need to lift this a little bit. Clearly. Hopefully you can still see where this is on the track there. And if you can't, I'm sorry. This is, you know. Okay. Well, they connected to only 3 tips this time. I think that's the first time the whole game, so it does happen. So they place a little baby mushroom on that one. Yeah, so now they're adding some more mushroom action, so I need to and they get 3 brown, so they're moving on up, and they're moving towards the left, according to this card. So that's 1. They get 2 acorns. Boo. Then they get a leaf, which is another acorn for the bot. Then another acorn. Wow. They just got points. Isn't that lovely? But they still only have 2 cent tokens. So it's back to me. I have 1 card again. So it's a sassafras. So I have to figure out how to make the sassafras work. Now, I think I should just get more sun tokens and like trigger the end of the game, because then the bot will get 1 more turn anyway. And I mean, I already have 3 of those blackbirds. I don't need any of that animal action, so screw orange. You do get points for leftover green cards though. But I think I want to place it over here and maybe just get like, I could get like, have 1 sun token left over, and that might be, hold up. Maybe, no, I'm not going to be able to get it adjacent to things. Or maybe I want to do a little more mushroom growing before the end is nigh, you know? Because I have this group here. Oh, this is all one big group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted to get 2 different groups of 3. Boo. Boo. So then maybe we do want to get more red action. Because if I do it like in here, a red and a brown, maybe more brown is what I desire. Oh, how about here? Orange though. I don't want another animal. I do want the brown though. I prefer the brown and the red though. Oh, I can't do that. I could do that. Can I do that? Not really. Ooh, that one's hard to get in there. I don't think that's going to be possible. I think I need more green. Oh, I don't think you can really get that in there, can you? Can I do it? I don't think I can, actually. I could do this, though. And just get 2 green, because I don't know what to do. However, if the AI triggers the final winter thing at the end of its turn, I won't get another turn. So that's something to think about. So I don't want to place adjacent to this one. I don't want it touching that leaf for sure. If I do this, that would be orange. Really here, I wish I could get it in. But I don't think there's a way to do it. Why don't I just do this and get the 2 brown and an orange and just take another animal? You don't score anything for the animals, but I just really want the 2 brown and move up the tree. So, here, we'll take Mr. Turtle, whatever. Doesn't matter. And that's an acorn. I don't want more animals, so I'll go this way and get 2 more acorns. We'll see. I'm just really hoping the AI doesn't trigger the it's gonna place next to yellow. It's gonna trigger. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Well, c'est la vie. That's 2, but it would be next to one of mine. Of course, that would give it more connections. So, ooh, sorry, a huge booger. I think that's just the one that makes the most sense. So 2 yellow. And it's going to trigger the winter, which means it also gets 3 points. 3 more acorns. And yeah, I think it works the same as in the base game for the winter. So winter can begin in one of 2 ways. When the season marker crosses the winter line and when the 3rd leaf pile is empty, which generally that track will happen first most of the time. Then when winter begins, there is no immediate frost. Instead, continue playing until all players have taken an equal number of turns. Then there's one final frost. Yeah, so I don't get another turn. I should have just triggered it on my turn. Oh well. So there's one final frost. They're just going to put another 3 in there. At least, you know what though? I think it was worth it because I'll get 6 points from being highest on the tree track. So, can you see the little squirrels on the tree track though? Well, probably not. I should have been moving them like this the whole time, huh? Yeah, probably. Oh well. You know, it's like, it looks cool 3D in person, but when you're like looking at it from above, it doesn't look as cool. So, and I have these blackbirds to hibernate. Here, I'll just move these up a little bit. So now it is time to score the chick. So there is one extra different thing for the scoring for the AI specifically. So if the north wind has more animals remaining in its forest than you, they gain 1 acorn for each animal in excess of your total. So I don't think that's unique animal sets. I think that's just the cards themselves. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they get 5 more points. Oh, I was supposed to start the AI with 1 sun token, by the way. Whoops. Did they say that in the setup? Yeah. Oh, they were supposed to also get 2 random animal cards. Whoops. So I actually made it easier on myself. Shockingly. So now we do the scoring up of things. It's a little point salad, but not the worst. So the first thing is you will score for the tree. So whoever's highest on the tree here, which is me, I'm highest, I will get 6 acorns. Are there any 5s left, or did the AI take them all? There's some left. 5, 6 for me, and the second highest gets 3, which is the AI, which will pretty much always get 3 for this. I should probably make some change for them. Look at this action. How about 1, 2, 3, 4 for 20, at the very least. Damn, girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 5s. And they'll get another 20. Making some conversions. Okay, so they have 42 so far. I'll make some change for mine too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's trade these in for 20. Just to make myself feel better. Okay, it's 25, 26, 27. 2 there. 42 so far. Wow, it's not looking great now, is it? Mushrooms. So, groups of adult mushrooms that are on adjacent leaves grant you acorns based on the group size. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my group. And that is 8 plus 1 for each additional acorn. So that is a total of 9 points for my mushrooms. Not great. Here, I'll just return 1 and take 2 5s. Yeah, you really want to try to make, rather than making one big group of mushrooms like I did, you should try to do what I said I was going to try to do at the beginning of the game, which I totally dropped the ball on, which is making 2 separate groups of 3, because that would be 16 points. So, oh, the AI. Okay, how did it do on mushrooms? Okay, I mean, it had one group of 3, so it got 8, actually, because the other ones here were babies that it wasn't able to grow up. So actually, it's not so disastrous. It's still really ahead of me, as you can see. Well, Leggett, just get better. Animals, Animo. So I know you guys can't see it, but I had 4 possums. So that's 6 for a group of 3, and it's plus 1 for each additional one. So that's 7 points for my possums. I have a group of 2 turtles. So that's 3 points. So 7 plus 3, that's 10. Then I had my 3 blackbirds. My 20 and 4 blackbirds. Only 3. So that's 6. So that's 16 points for that. 16. Let's do 1 and 3 5s, and then maybe I can make more change. Lots of change making with these acorns. Okay, let's turn those in for 20. At least I'm above 40. Oh, above 50. Actually, I'm not doing awful. Their animals. Okay, let's see what the damage is. They had 3 squirrels. So that's 6. They had 3 frogs. So that's another 6. Look at those beautiful frogs. Look at that. Those frog boys. 12. And 3 foxes. So they had 18. So why don't we just put 2 back, and they'll get a 20. Ugh. Definitely not gonna. And then sun and leaf cards. So you gain 1 acorn for each 2 sun tokens and or leaf cards. And you can basically just combine them all together and divide by 2. So I had no leaf cards left over, and I had 2 sun tokens. So I get 1 acorn. Yay. And they had just the 1 sun token. So actually I think they get 0 for that. Which is probably why they get that other scoring with the animal cards. So, to recap, they had 65, 67, 68 points, and I had 40, 53 points, which is actually a closer margin than the first time I played. So I'm getting better. Rich says, don't you be getting eyes for frog boys. You should only have eyes for lizards. Well, as you said yesterday, Rich, they are like reptile adjacent. So, yeah, so was that 68 to 53? That's actually not that bad. The last time I was like 40 something, and the AI was like 70 something. It was something crazy. So, but they were doing a lot more sporing with their mushrooms that time. It wasn't as bad this time. I think I would have done a lot better if I'd gotten those separate groups of mushrooms, because you get a lot of scoring potentially from those mushrooms if you're smart about it. Because obviously, well, there's not really like a maximum with the animals, but like, maybe doing the groups of 4 and 5 animals might be worth it, because you only get to do 3 of them. So if you could do 3 sets of 4, I mean, that would be 21 points. So maybe I should have focused on getting those quartets instead of those trios, you know? But I really like this game. Spoiler alert. I like it better multiplayer, obviously, because managing this AI is, I don't hate it, managing the AI here. Thanks, baby. Thanks for that. Well, yeah, 63, I think, is my highest score in this game so far. So, actually, obviously the solo mode is good, at least for getting better at the game, I guess. But yeah, you have to do a lot of managing of the AI. This was a little smoother managing it than last time, because I started kind of memorizing, the different levels of priorities for how to resolve their actions. It's just a little bit more managing, especially for a lighter game. Like, especially with lighter puzzly games like this, I like a solo mode to be just like, I don't know, blocking a space, or, removing cards from the market. Like, I don't want to have to. I might as well just play two-handed. That's basically what it is. It's just a more elegant way of playing it two-handed, right? So, some people like that. They want that in their solo mode. They want, like, a bot to actually compete against, instead of just, trying to beat their own high score or whatever. So I could see some people really enjoying this solo mode. I enjoy the game. Sometimes, when you're doing the AI, like, ooh, well, I have to resolve this thing for the AI, and it would want to do this thing. So you still get that puzzly kind of feel, but it's like, but I'm giving it points, So, I do like that it is a fairly smooth to manage, though, but you're still managing it, So, is what it is. And is what it is. Very good game, though. I highly suggest getting it. It's really good at 2 still. So the first time we played it at 3, and that was really fun. And then me and Rich just played it at 2 a couple days ago, and it still slaps at 2. So, so even at 2, I was worried, like, well, at 3, and I imagine this element is even stronger at 4, with the sort of passive income you get from people placing leaves next to your mushrooms. You'll get a lot of sun tokens, and that track will move even faster in a 3-player game. In the 2-player game, it doesn't move quite as fast, but it's still like an hour max game for the most part. I just spent here doing an hour and a half because I'm just talking. I'm still not fully awake, and I'm probably spacing out quite a few times, but that was still a good game, though, I felt. And, yeah. So anyone watching this after the fact, stay tuned for our full 2-player playthrough and review we'll be doing of this with Teach. Obviously, I was not emphasizing the Teach as much, because this was sort of still setting it up and just trying to get into it. But hopefully you got a good idea of how it plays if you're using this as a basis for that. And tomorrow we have more My Island stream. Me and Rich are going on a spoiler archaeological dig. I think if you're following that stream, you don't care about spoilers anyway, though, so whatever. I'm pretty sure there's going to be aliens by the end of that campaign, but I don't know that for a fact, so it's not like a spoiler. That's just, my wild musings. So we're doing that on Monday. We'll be doing another one on Thursday. So tomorrow's stream, that'll be 10 p.m. Eastern time. So pretty late for Tim. But we'll be doing the Thursday one. That'll be chapter and that'll be at 5 Eastern time. We'll be starting. So we'll be starting around 2, so the similar time. Or oh no, I think we're gonna do it earlier. I think we're gonna start at 4, Rich, right? Because it took a long time. Like each one of those My Island streams has been getting like progressively longer. Like the first one was like an hour and 50. I was like, this is a good length. And then the second one was slightly over 2 hours. Then the third one was like 2.5 hours. And then I think this last one we like broke 3 hours. So, but you know, when you think about it, we're basically working our way through 3 games because we're going through 3 episodes for each chapter, which is, I think, a better way to block it off. But just obviously as you go through the steps of that campaign, My City was kind of similar in the sense it just gets, you're adding more complexity and more stuff as you go. And so especially in the midpoint of the campaign of My City, I remember it becoming very, very brain burny. And then as you got into the last couple of chapters, stuff started kind of peeling away and it kind of balanced out a little bit more. So all that to say, expect Monday and Thursday stream to also be similarly long. But, you know, part of it is chilling and hanging out with, you know, whoever shows up. So I'm ending the stream counter while I'm going to get going. There should be some more non-stream video content coming out this week as well. I'm working on a couple of things. I think we're still going to have our RageCon vlog is definitely coming this week. And probably September and or October stats, which we still need to refilm. But anyway. And the stream counter too. And yeah, have a good day. I hope it's cozy fall weather wherever you're at. It stopped raining, which I'm sad about. I hope it'll rain more later. And I have to decide what we're doing for dinner. Okay, ending the stream counter. 3, 2, 1.